the summer political campaign season kicking off, it is in gear, and there are no major national elections this year, of course, but there are a number of state and local races across the country with potential barrier-breaking candidates in the hunt. Here now, ABC's senior Washington reporter, Devin Dwyer.
Hey, TJ, you know, it has been a historic political year, and this summer from Seattle to Richmond to Boston, a growing number of women of color candidates are looking to keep that momentum going.
In the birthplace of the American Revolution, women of color are making new history.
It is an incredible time in our city's history, in our country's history.
For the first time in 199 years, a black woman is leading Boston.
Do you feel a pressure to deliver because you're the first?
There's always that pressure and that burden of being the first, and certainly being the first, you want to create more opportunity for others.
Acting Mayor Kim Janey in March broke Boston's long succession of white Irish or Italian-American men leading City Hall after former Mayor Marty Walsh joined the Biden cabinet.
Many people ask, is this what you always dreamt of doing? Did you always want to be mayor? And, you know, I didn't see that for myself because I didn't see it in anyone else.
This fall, Boston's ballot for mayor will feature only candidates of color, including 4 women. City Councilor Andrea Campbell, who grew up in the city's housing projects and went on to Princeton, is among them.
The painful murder we all witnessed of George Floyd, and I often say I didn't need to witness that as a black woman, as a mother of 2 black boys, to know that we had work to do here in the city of Boston with respect to policing reform, health disparities.
The calls for racial justice have galvanized women of color nationwide, chasing political power, breaking barriers from the vice presidency to the halls of Congress, where a record 49 are lawmakers. Now sights are set on big city mayorships, governorships, and Senate seats where no woman of color has served before.
Why are these firsts still happening more than 100 years after women got the right to vote?
I think it speaks to the real stubbornness of our political institutions, which were built literally in ways that excluded women, and even more so excluded women of color.
In Seattle, 2 women of color are top contenders for mayor. North Carolina's first black woman state Supreme Court Chief Justice Sherry Beasley is in the race for U.S. Senate.
I'm very much aware that there are only 24 women currently serving in the United States Senate. There are 0 African-American women. North Carolina is a diverse state, and we want to see the same reflected in the leadership.
In South Carolina, State Senator Mia McLeod says she's mounting a historic bid for governor, joining 2 black women in Virginia running to become the first to lead a state.
We've never had a black woman lead this nation, and we have never had a black woman lead any state in this country in 2021. But we're going to change that. It's not enough to have bills and budgets written for black women. We need them written by black women.
Do you think about your candidacy in historic terms?
That I could break this glass ceiling in the former capital of confederacies is extraordinary. The arc of the moral universe does bend towards justice, but it needs help from people and from us.
Their candidacies face persistent doubts about electability, but Boston City Councilor Michelle Wu, a mother of 2 and daughter of immigrants, says she's learned to shrug them off.
Because when I ran, people said, there's no way. Boston doesn't elect women. Boston doesn't elect young people, Asian Americans. So in some ways, I've had to learn from scratch just how much government matters in the daily barriers that my family was facing, and how much politics shapes every bit of the systems that we are all struggling with.
Boston Councilor Anissa Asabi George, a small business owner in the nation's only Tunisian American in elected office, calls her race a sisterhood of changemakers.
There is, as you know, a debate whether or not I count as a woman of color, whether or not Arabs qualify for this distinction. And it is certainly the struggle my dad had. So I feel like this moment for me personally has been in the making for many, many years.
Trailblazers in politics making 2021 a milestone year, and who say they're just getting started.
Devin, why is this the year? Why is this moment the moment for cities like Boston and other places across the country?
Yeah, it's such a good question, TJ. The women candidates that I talked to gave a lot of credit to the movement for racial justice after the death of George Floyd. They also gave credit to a number of high-profile women of color, Michelle Obama, Stacey Abrams. But as one of the candidates told me, she said she believes that all Americans of all backgrounds are now finally realizing that this is not just about counting beans and checking boxes. It's about lived experiences and perspectives that are so important in our politics.
Devin, we really appreciate you being here and appreciate that story from you, an important one. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here. Thanks, TJ.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.